Rating the List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad. And on this episode, we're going to be exploring number 82 from AFI's 100 Years, 100 Passions, the 100 Greatest Love Stories of All Time.
Number 82 is Witness, directed by Peter Weir, released in 1985, starring Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis.
So, the synopsis for this crime drama is as follows. Recently widowed Rachel Lapp, played by Kelly McGillis, and her 8-year-old son Samuel, played by Lucas Haas, leave their Lancaster, Pennsylvania County Amish community to visit her sister. Their train ride takes them into Philadelphia. While waiting for a connecting train, Samuel witnesses the brutal murder of an undercover cop in the men's room. Detective John Book, played by Harrison Ford, is assigned to the case. At the station, John has Samuel look at mugshots. He can't identify anyone, but later spots one of the killers in a news clipping in a trophy case. The killer is narcotics cop McPhee, played by Danny Glover. After some research, Book finds McPhee is likely dirty and expresses his suspicions to Chief Schaefer, who advises him to keep it under wraps until they can figure out how to proceed. Book is later ambushed in a parking garage by McPhee and wounded. He realizes Schaefer is also corrupt and tipped off McPhee. Knowing Phyllis and Samuel are in danger, he orders his partner to remove all traces of the lapse from the investigation and drives them back to the Amish community. His injury causes him to pass out, and since he can't go to a hospital as a gunshot wound means police will be informed, he must convalesce with the Amish. During his stay, Book and Phyllis grow attracted to each other, and he starts becoming a part of the community. An altercation in town alerts his pursuers to his whereabouts. Book takes on the corrupt cops, taking down McPhee and another before forcing Schaefer to stand down with the help of the entire Amish community. Book says goodbye to Samuel and leaves an accepted member of the community.
Okay, really good movie.
Yeah.
Interesting storyline. We get a little, visual into the Amish community, which is interesting. Kelly McGillis is great. So is Harrison Ford.
This is one area where Jerry and I have a little bit of a disagreement. I find, for the most part, as good as an actor that Harrison Ford is, I feel he rarely has really great chemistry with his on-screen partners. I think two cases where he really does are Karen Allen in Raiders of the Lost Ark and Carrie Fisher, especially in The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
The Carrie Fisher one makes a whole lot of sense because they actually dated in real life for a while, especially during that movie. But you also, if you know a little bit about like his personal life, like he's always been into younger women. So he doesn't seem to gel when he's on screen with someone who's age appropriate for him, I guess is the best way to say it. So I often don't buy him in these roles. I think they're both good, and I had some problems with the on-screen chemistry. I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah, it's passable.
It's passable. It's not great, and when I see these kinds of movies, I want great chemistry because I think that's what elevates a love story. Is you want to suspend your disbelief and believe that these two people are in love. And it's really hard for me to believe that these two are in love for the most part.
Even in the sexy scene, because sometimes you want to feel the heat.
Yeah, there's one really kind of sexy scene where, she's really going out on a limb for her. Like, what she's doing in her community, is just, out there. She basically, undresses in front of him and is basically inviting him to the bedroom, which, will likely get her ostracized.
Yes.
Very strict religious community. So, she's kind of showing, I want you enough to take this risk. And he understands that it's a risk for her, and as much as he wants to, go there, he doesn't. He's very chivalrous and, doesn't do that. He knows that eventually he's going to be leaving, and it would be a serious dick move if he had sex with this woman. She gets ostracized, and then he's like, bye, going back to Philadelphia to live my, my normal life, and, sucks for you. He doesn't do that to her or her son, who he has grown to care for as well, played by a very, very young Lucas Haas. This is like his first movie. I think he's probably about 8 years old.
Yeah, he's really young.
He's definitely age appropriate. It's the very first movie for him. We talked about it a few episodes back. It has a very young Viggo Mortensen in a non-speaking role as one of the guys in the Amish community. And then I don't know the actor's name, but the blonde dude from Money Pit.
Yes. He plays the conductor from Money Pit.
Yeah, he plays he plays like a love rival. Like he is basically like
he's trying to woo. Kelly McGillis.
Like he's not even wasting any time. Like her husband's body is not even cold, and he's just like, what's up, girl?
Yeah, it's like 2 days later, and he's all, can I get some lemonade?
Yeah, so you want to churn some butter? What you want, to do, girl?
So yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
the story is very interesting. It's a little dated. It's a little 80s dated.
It's a little the music. We were like, what is going on with this music? I was like, I really honestly thought, I'm like, is this Vangelis? Like, it sounded like Blade Runner.
It did. It had a lot of synthesizer.
A lot of synth music, and it really, like, you're telling a story in this community that eschews technology, and you're gonna have a soundtrack that's like heavy synth. It's
weird.
It's really weird. Strange.
It kind of brings you out of it.
It does bring you out of it, and it's just odd. The acting overall is really good. I was kind of, I'm a really big Star Wars fan. We're actually shooting this on May 25th, so happy Orthodox Star Wars Day to all the Star Wars fans out there. This is the day in 1977 when the original Star Wars was released on 32 theaters nationwide. So it's the real Star Wars Day for hardcore fans.
Okay. I accept your observance.
One of the when they come to the Amish village, the chief of police and McPhee and a third guy who's actually played by Angus McFadden, who is Gold Leader in the original Star Wars movie. So he's part of the Trench Run. It's that guy. He's in a few movies. You'll see him pop up every once in a while. Like he's in Atlantic City with Susan Sarandon. You'll show up and be like, oh, there's that guy.
Is he the one that gets killed by all the grain?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to go.
Yeah, so his character ultimately gets killed by being he's in like a grain silo, and Book releases a lever, and all the corn like falls on top of him, and he's just like, he basically gets crushed and suffocated at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a few good action sequences in this movie. They handle the suspense really well. Peter Weir is a really good director.
Yeah, he was really good.
I think my favorite movie of his is Master and Commander with Russell Crowe. It's a really great movie. He's an Australian director. He's done a lot of Australian pictures as well. But this is a good movie. I really liked it. I thought the love story could have been a little bit stronger with more chemistry.
I think they could have. I wish they had more time to dive into the love story. Yeah. I feel like they spent a lot of time at the beginning of the movie, like, trying to do this whole murder mystery thing. And I think it might have been a little too long.
I agree. I think you could have gotten through that stuff with the audience understanding exactly what was going on with a little bit less time, and spend a little bit more time with the fish out of water element. With him in the Amish community. One of the cool things about the movie is you get to see Harrison Ford, who he was a trained carpenter. He used to do that work for a living, so you get to see him doing some actual carpentry work, and it's definitely him doing it because he knows how to do that stuff. It was probably one of the things where he read the script and he was like, "Hey,"
he's like, "Yes,
I get to do some like cool. Not only do I get to do some carpentry stuff, but I get to do some old school stuff.
Yeah,
using hand tools. They don't use electrical tools, so hand drills and planes and all that kind of stuff. So I think that had to have had some appeal for him.
Yeah, there's a collage scene or montage where they're building.
Gotta be a montage.
Yeah, where they're building a home.
No, they're raising a barn.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah. It's a whole thing. They talk about the barn raising.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so they raise a barn. And
they raise a barn, and he's a part of that, and he's into it.
I think they might have actually done that, at least part of it.
It looked like they kind of did.
I think they at least got the structure up, which was really cool.
Yeah.
We both like this movie.
It's a great movie. You should watch it if you haven't seen it.
I definitely feel it belongs on this list. It does have a love story at its element, which I appreciate.
Yes.
I gave this movie a 69. Jerry gave it a 74. The list, therefore, is 71 and a half. So pretty good score. It's probably going to stick on the list when we redo ours.
For sure.
Yep. So please like and subscribe. Please comment if you have anything to say about this movie. You can also reach us at ratingthelist@gmail.com, and we can respond there as well. Until next time, I'm Brad.
I'm Jerry.
And we're rating the list.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.